Hello and good evening to everybody. Welcome to the fourth week of our Dementia Information Series. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Adult Day Program and the community resources. So tonight, there's a team of three of us from Acclaim Health's Adult Day and Caregiver Support. There's myself, I'm a caregiver educator, Vinitha Nair, and Katie Zelinski, who will be presenting first on the Adult Day Program. Katie is the supervisor of our Oakville Adult Day Program. And here's Vinitha. Katie's the supervisor of the Oakville Adult Day Program, and she's been with us for several years. Is it 10 now, Katie? 10? 15?
16.
16, congratulations. So obviously it must be a good job. And 16 years. And so she's got a lot of good insider information for you. So Vinitha and I will be behind the scenes for the first part of this. For the second part of the presentation this evening, Vinitha and I will be talking about community resources available to persons, caregivers of persons with dementia and also persons with dementia. And because I'll probably forget, I did want to mention that next week is our tax week. And don't be shy. Michael Key has been doing this presentation for, I think, at least 15 years, and he does it very well. It's not too dry. And also, if you're not aware of the disability tax credit, you will definitely want to come next week and hear more about it. So I will turn this over to Katie. And as always, if you have questions, please put them in the question box, and Katie will be answering them at the end of her presentation. And we'll have our little 5-minute break as usual. So I will disappear for a while and we'll let Katie take over. Thank you, Katie.
Okay, so today we're going to be speaking about the Adult Day programs. So our department in Adult Day and Caregiver Support. So just an overview. Our Adult Day programs are therapeutic recreation and opportunity for socialization. And also a big part of it is respite for our caregivers. We have 2 dementia-specific locations. So we have our Oakville location that's on Sheridan College campus right now. That will be the location moving to our new dementia center that's going to be located on Spears, hopefully next fall. We have our Burlington dementia-specific program that's on Itabashi and Upper Middle area. We also have 3 locations that are integrated. They were formerly known as the Seneca Day programs. So we have Palermo, that's on Dundas, Bond, that's Bond Street and Kerr, and then Coptic is our Mississauga location. So the referral process, all our applications for the day program go through the local health integration network. So that's the LIN that you've also heard of. So we have the Mississauga Halton LIN and the Hamilton Niagara Haldeman Norfolk LIN. So our programs fall into both. Even though Burlington is in Halton region, it's still considered to be part of Hamilton Niagara LIN. So that brings me to my next point. Applications are filled out by your care coordinator in your area, but you can apply for out of region day program. So if you live in Oakville and would like to attend our Burlington Day program, you would just have to send it out of region, as we can't share referrals, even though it's within the same organization. We can't accept direct referrals here at the day program, but we can start the referral process for you. We can help you with filling out forms and getting them to the LIN a little bit quicker. When is it time for a day program? Usually it's when you start noticing or you're getting uncomfortable with leaving your loved one at home. When you're noticing they're feeling restless, they're wanting to go out, they have this need, they feel they need to be somewhere, or you're noticing that they're bored around the house, And caregivers, when you're noticing that you can't do as much as you used to, you can't go to activities or groups you used to because you need to be home with your loved one. How to choose the right day program. Now, tours are always great. They give you a good perspective. You can see what's suitable, what's going to be fitting for your family member. Right now, due to COVID, we're not doing on-site tours, but you can book on our website, and a supervisor coordinator will get in touch with you, and we can book virtual tours. So we can give you a view of the surroundings of the day program. A few things to consider. Is the program dementia friendly? Some aren't dementia specific, so you may want to ask those questions. Is the program secure? So out of our 5 programs with Acclaim Health, 2 of them are secure sites. If not, is the program, are they able to work with people that wander and like to walk? What type of activities and programming are provided? That's what's great about a tour as well, especially when we have clients on site. You can see the programming in action. We always have the programs up on the board, and we can give you a better idea of what the day is going to look like. Are there transportation options? Depending on the area you live in, there's different options. We work with caravan, handy van, canes. There's a lot of private transportation. There's lots of different options depending on where you are. Is there a wait list? That's always a big question and concern. Unfortunately, there are wait lists for all our programs and most programs for that. So even though you're on a wait list, I know it's been brought up before at a couple other sessions, we do have our virtual club and different activities that are available to all the individuals on the wait list. Cost. So depending on where you're going, Acclaim Health, all our 5 programs are the same cost of $24 per day. You do have a bit of a range depending on what organization you're with. Is there a fee for assessment? Some programs, yes. With Acclaim Health, no. And there are subsidies available in the region. Now, suitability of clients for our day programs. We do serve families in the Halton region. Depending on circumstances and where exactly you're located, we have gone out of region, such as Waterdown, Stony Creek. So just sitting on the borders. Clients attending our dementia-specific programs must have a diagnosis of a progressive cognitive impairment, such as Alzheimer's, Lewy body, it may be Parkinson's, it might be vascular dementia. Clients must be able to cope within a social environment and pose no serious risk to themselves or others. A big one for our program is that clients must be able to weight bear. So meaning they must be able to stand up. And this is important when our staff are assisting them in the washroom. That's usually a big part because we do help with personal care. And because our staff, we have a no lifting policy, it's important that they're still able to assist us with helping them in the washroom. Depending on the circumstances, we can work with you depending on how long they're here. There are some other ways to get around that, but we would work that out with you individually as part of their care plan. The client must be able to cope in a non-smoking environment. Unfortunately, we can't smoke on our secure locations. So that would be something that they would be able to have to manage. The client is not on a medication requiring injections. So we can't assist with injections, but in some cases we have had caregivers that would come and assist them in the middle of the day if needed. Or we have had situations where a client is able to administer themselves and we're just there for support. So that's worked as well, as long as they can do it on their own. So I have a video here that I'm going to share. This is our adult day program. This is our Sheridan location.
Welcome to Acclaim Health's Adult Day Program, located in Oakville, Ontario. Acclaim Health's Adult Day Program welcomes patients with Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. The program runs Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., with the exception of Tuesday, when it runs until 8:30 p.m. The program is also available on Saturdays from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Acclaim Health's Adult Day Program offers activities that focus on social interaction, cognitive skills, physical activity, and creative expression. Activities include discussion groups, baking, singing, memory games, exercise programs, shuffleboard, pool, painting, crafts, and more. Acclaim Health's Adult Day Program also includes foot care and a caregiver support and education program. The program is led by friendly, trained professionals within a secure environment that will help you feel comfortable and safe during your entire visit.
This has sort of just fallen in place.
Katie, the video froze. We seem to have lost Katie. Okay. We'll just give it a couple minutes, if you don't mind, to see if Katie comes back on. I'm not quite sure what happened there. This is the joys of our new COVID learning environments. As I'm sure many of you have been through this. I'm going behind the scenes to see what's going to happen, so please be patient and we will try and get back with you. Okay, I think we have Katie back.
Are we back?
You're back.
I'm back. So sorry.
Yep. Everybody was patient. Yep.
Just like technology to do that to you.
Yeah. I think they saw most of the video, probably. Do you think?
I hope so. Did it freeze at the end when they were doing the phone number?
No, they froze it, Stuart.
Oh, that was the end.
Okay. So let's keep going.
Yeah, he was the last person there. So.
Okay, super. So let's keep going with the PowerPoint. Thank you, Katie, and thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you for your patience. Goodness me. So I'm just going to video. Okay, next, here we are. So first contact from the day program of choice. So what normally happens is we receive the application from the LIN. We have a shared database. So the supervisor or the coordinator of that location will review it and ensure client suitability for the program. That's when we'll be contacting you to advise you of the wait list. We'll provide an information package about the day program and also see if you're interested in coming for a tour of the program, or right now virtually. So when an offer is made to attend the program, we usually start with 1 day of service. We'll advise you of an internal wait list. Normally, I would say the average is probably 2 to 3 days a week somebody will attend. But we usually start with 1 because it can be a little overwhelming for somebody. And then we'll add you to the internal wait list if you are indeed interested in more days. We do have individuals that attend more than 1 day program at any given time as well. So that's always an option to fill your days through the week. We'll call you first to schedule a meeting. So we call this our initial assessment. It's about 60 to 90 minutes long. what we've been doing more recently is either emailing the initial assessment package to the families or mailing it, or the family may pick it up. And this just gives you the opportunity to really absorb the information, share it with your family, and fill it out at your own pace, and then just ask more questions when you come in for the assessment date. Questions we often ask would include, do you need us to assist with medications? Do they need assistance in the washroom? Are there dietary concerns? We can support any kind of dietary concern. Mobility issues, we can support that as well. If there's any vision impairments, questions like that are really important to give somebody a good day. And as well, what makes them happy? What keeps them calm or less frustrated during the day? We like to learn all those little things about somebody. So what to bring to your initial assessment? So any questions, any concerns, nothing's too small. If there is a power of attorney for personal care, we usually have that person sign the consent forms, or sometimes we'll put you as the substitute decision maker for that individual. A do not resuscitate form, also known as a DNR. Not everybody has one, but we do like to keep it on file if somebody does indeed have one, as if we were ever to call emergency services, that's one of the first things they'll ask us when they get here, is for that form. Medication, so we can assist with medication. All our staff are trained in medication assistance, but it needs to be a necessary medication. So vitamins, we ask that they be given at a different time when they're not at the day program. Other questions we have found caregivers have had are, what happens if you're on vacation or you're absent? We do still charge for that day of service. We wouldn't charge if somebody was in the hospital and it was going to be several weeks. We would put you on what we call a hold, so you don't lose your spot at the program. When would you discharge somebody from the program? The most common one is somebody moving to long-term care, or they've moved out of the area to live with a different family member. Those are usually the top two of somebody leaving the program. Some common concerns. A big one, a lot of anxiety for the families sometimes, is how to explain the program to your family member, especially if they've never been in a social setting. That's why we like to refer to it as the club. It's not as, I guess it's more welcoming than saying adult day center or the daycare. So we stick with the club. It's more VIP, and you're going to see your friends at the club. They're all waiting for you. We'll work with you on that as well if it's a hard adjustment at first. On average, I would say it takes somebody about 4 to 6 weeks to really adjust to the program when it's something new. But I have seen so many people just flourish as every week goes by. So another support we have is Behavioral Supports Ontario. You may have heard of them, also known as BSO. Staff, they have community support workers. On a regular day, they would work on site with us at the day program, but due to COVID, they are working remotely right now. We're still in touch with them on a regular basis. It's a little bit different in Burlington in that their community outreach team is mostly in the community supporting you in your home. But they will assist us in the day program when needed. They will help, so these staff are specialized in supporting people in problem solving with responsive behaviors. They'll help transition from home into the day program. They'll also help you transition from the day program into long-term care if that's what's needed for that individual. So how we plan and engage. So our clients' lives, like I was saying before, it's very important for us to know what they're all about, their past occupation, things they really enjoy doing in the past as well as now, and how they interact socially with people. We like the programs to be meaningful. We want them to have a good day. That's what we're all about. So we ask you a lot of questions at the beginning, so we know the most we can. We offer programs that are dementia specific. We create activities and programs that focus on their abilities and interests. We follow Montessori-based principles with our programming. Music care is part of our everyday programs, and therapeutic recreation. We utilize other things called creative expressions. That's more new, as well as spark of life. I'll speak on creative expression in another slide. But spark of life is more of a philosophy. It was created in 1993 by Jane Verity. It focuses on skills to understand, connect, and communicate with people who have dementia. You can read more about it. She has a website that talks about it, dementiacareinternational.com. So that's based out of Australia. So our Montessori-based dementia programming, it really enables people to be independent. It encourages them and gives them opportunity to have their own choice in what they're doing. It places value on respect and dignity in everything they're participating in. And there's no wrong way of doing something. So the benefits, there's so many benefits in our Montessori programming. It's embedded in everything we do. So clients are doing things, they're not watching. Everyone participates and has a turn. Staff are not the focal point. It's not competitive, and it reduces that sense of failure. Like there's no wrong way, again, of doing anything. So I've kind of put a little clip here. That's from the video that we had watched. That's two of our club members with a picture in front of them that they're painting, but there's also one on the easel that has been completed already, kind of as a guide if they want to follow it, to assist them in the process. And I've put an example up top, depending on the skill level or how difficult the photo is or the picture that they're working on, we give them that option as well. And in the background, sorry, I forgot to mention, we would probably have music to go along with the theme of whatever we were working on. Creative expression. So a new term, and engages creative thinking and spiritual contemplation. It's an alternative expression that doesn't focus on verbal communication. So it works in a variety of ways with any kind of program we do, whether it's painting, reminiscing, storytelling, baking, we can accommodate this into a creative expression philosophy. So this is an example. One of our staff, she's very artistic, drew these up as part of our activity kits that had gone home a couple months back with a few examples for them to work from. So if people on our wait list as well are interested in this kind of thing, we would also make sure we got it home for them. Music care is, again, like I said, part of our everyday. Room 217 Foundation has developed some amazing resources. They bring music therapy tools and education for staff to employ these principles and best practices of music as a care approach to programming and spiritual care. Pathways there at the bottom, it has some activity kits. It's 13 episodes a 13-episode music program that incorporates listening and singing to music, reminiscing, and discussion. And our teams at our Oakville and Burlington location that utilize these resources have created some amazing presentation pieces to go along with this Pathways program. Music therapy is also a big one. We usually have contracted out for music therapy and had them at our dementia specific locations off and on. But right now I'm happy to say that we have employed a music therapist. His name's Ryan, and he's currently working out of our Burlington Day program, which is wonderful. STEPS is another program we utilize. It's a specialized training, exercise, and participation service. So these exercises are developed for older adults that may have physical or cognitive deficits. All our staff are trained in delivering this program in a way that meets our clients' individual needs. So to enhance our exercise program, we also have a partnership with an organization called LifeMark. They provide exercises at all our locations, 2 to 3 days a week, about a 45-minute exercise program. And they're all facilitated by registered kinesiologists, which is great. The focus of their programs, much like our STEPS program, is strength, balance, and falls prevention. And it's also a funded program, so it's free to everyone at our adult day programs. We have some communication tools. So our client journal, it's unique to our dementia-specific programs right now. I have an example here on the right of what it would look like. So every day that your loved one attended the day program, you would get a sheet like this in their client journal, giving you a synopsis of their day, what programs they were involved in. We have a participation level legend between the numbers of 0 of 3. So you would see if they fully participated in that activity, if they were resting through that activity. And again, a number system for how much they're eating as well. And if there's any other information that you would want to know when they're here, we can absolutely add that in for you. Around the 12-week mark, so about 3 months, it really gives us a good opportunity to get to know your loved one and how well we can support them here at the day program. So one of our staff would reach out and do a quick survey with you, see how things are going, and that's when we would start developing individual care plan that's based on our PIECES model. So it looks at all the functioning of a person, physical, intellectual, emotional, their capabilities, the environment, and social. And again, you can call us anytime or email us. We're always available. We also have a monthly newsletter. So this would include staff updates, anything recreationally specific to a site. We'll put it in there. It might be seasonal, and resource information, as well as support groups coming up, things like that. So that's usually emailed out, but we do have printed copies as well if email is not your first go-to. We do a survey in the fall, our annual satisfaction survey. That goes out usually through email, through a SurveyMonkey link, or physical copies as well that you could bring back to the day program. When the time comes for long-term care placement, if it does, you can request what's called a long-term care transfer note. It's very similar to the care plan that we would work on with you and the staff. And it's been known to be really supportive for that individual when new staff are around now. And it gives them new strategies and techniques that our staff have found to be effective in supporting that person. So a couple other little tidbits. So we do provide client client-centered care in a safe, secure environment that offers specialized social, cognitive, physical, and individual activities that build on their existing skills and interests. We are $24 per registered day. We serve well-balanced meals that are provided from Meals on Wheels. Again, we can accommodate any kind of dietary restrictions or preferences. Right now, due to COVID, we do not have foot care, but on a regular day, we would provide foot care about every 6 weeks at an additional fee on site at the program, as well as the LifeMark exercises. We currently do not have them attending, and pet therapy as well. Music therapy is being run virtually currently. And there's our virtual club. That's what it, you can find that on our website. And there's our contact information. I'm currently at our Oakville site at Sheridan College, and Ashley Markle is our coordinator right now at our Burlington day program, our dementia specific sites.
That's great. Thank you, Katie. Oh, sorry.
All you got from me.
Yeah. Do you want to leave that contact slide up, or is it too late?
Oh, might be too late. I can always provide my contact information, and I can pass you through to your interested site. Hold on, let me here. I can pull it up.
Okay.
Give me 1 sec. There we are.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Katie. While people are looking at that, if they want to contact either Ashley or yourself, please write down the number. Katie, there are some questions, and I'm going to ask you the questions that have come up, okay?
Sure.
Somebody said, my mom's mother tongue is Spanish. She speaks a bit of English, but we suppose eventually it will disappear. Do you offer assistance to Spanish-speaking clients?
Yes, we get this question a lot, not just Spanish, but any language. We find it's not a barrier for anybody that's attended our program because we communicate in so many ways, whether it be nonverbal, through music. Depending on the language, our staff are always committed to learning those key words and the language that individual speaks. So we'll learn how to ask, do they need the washroom? Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? You know, those basic things in whatever language we need to make sure that individual has a better day.
Thank you. It was noted that in order to attend a day program, you need an assessment done for Alzheimer's or dementia. Does this need to be done by a doctor or the LHIN?
It would be, well, your diagnosis would come from your doctor. So there are assessments that your doctor would do, whether it's a mini mental or the MOCA or whatever they determine, depending on what the symptoms are you are describing. But an assessment can be done with the LHIN, and you can be in the process of getting a diagnosis and still get onto our wait list.
Thank you.
If that helps. Yeah.
Yep. Is it still only one time per week per person? So I guess 1 day a week per person. Is it still only that?
Right now, yes. So all our current individuals that are currently on service are still only attending 1 day a week right now. Again, when things get back to a certain kind of normal, we'll definitely be able to make that more days a week.
If the client is only living part-time in Halton, can they participate in the day program? Sure. So they live 2 weeks a month in Halton, 2 weeks a month somewhere else.
Yeah, that's common too, because we have a lot of families that share that caregiving role. So they might be out of region with one family member and then somewhere else with another member. It's really just getting them to the program that could be a little bit difficult sometimes, depending on how far away they are.
So what I hear you saying is that the 2 weeks they live in Halton, they'd they'd attend the program, and then the other 2 weeks, the other
The
2
family
weeks,
could still get them here.
yeah,
Yeah, then they could still attend on a regular basis. It's nice to keep that consistency, especially if they're only attending 1 day a week, because it really becomes part of their routine.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And the next question is, sorry if you said this already, but what is available virtually just now? Can you explain the virtual program that we have, Katie?
Yeah, so we run across the 5 sites. We run activities like music programs, cognitive activities, as well as things as fun as bingo. We have running virtually. We use the Zoom platform for our programs. We also have a lot of programs that have been saved on our Acclaim Health YouTube site that are also available on the Acclaim Health website. You can download activities right from our website to do at home as well. Some people like our activity packages. They might be, our staff are just brilliant, but some of them are like 90 pages long of different activities, sing-along books for our music programs, just about anything you could think of. We've been trying to offer out. You could call me directly if you want something specific.
Thank you. Somebody's asked how they get to the club. Do we need to drive her, or do you have driving services?
Acclaim Health does not have driving services, but some caregivers will drive, or another family member. We also, Caravan transports a number of our clients, Mississauga Wheels Trans, Handy Van in Burlington, as well as Canes will transport to our Oakville and Mississauga locations. So there's quite a few different options depending on where you are. Red Cross as well, Burlington area.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, wait, another question popped up. Someone said Red Cross, I think it also provides very reasonable rates.
Red Cross, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for Katie before she signs off? I think you've covered quite a bit of it, Katie, and you've left your phone number.
Yeah, give me a call. You have any questions, not a problem.
Oh, wait, got one more here.
Oh.
If the individual with dementia will not permit an assessment by the LHIN, can the caregiver request for the LHIN to come and do an assessment in the home environment in the presence of the caregiver and the person with dementia?
Yes, they will come and do it in the home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I can add that it is quite common for persons with dementia to be nervous or scared about people coming into the home. And the agencies and personnel that do come into homes to work with persons with dementia are very familiar with this. And we have ways and tricks and therapeutic fibbing, as you learned last week, to get around those sorts of issues. So if you have a relative you feel would not be receptive to someone coming in from the LHIN, just tell them that over the phone and come up with the plan with them, how you're going to get them in the house, and asking them questions. And I'll just give you a story about my mom. It used to be that the LHIN would need to call the person with dementia first to do a phone screen, and then they would need to do a phone screen and get their permission to come and visit. And so I knew that my mother with dementia would never permit somebody to come talk to her. So I sold it to her. I said, everybody in the whole building was getting a phone call that the government of Canada was surveying seniors, and they had some questions to ask, and they wanted everybody to participate. So my mom agreed when they said that, when she was convinced that every senior had to answer the same questions. So there's ways to get around somebody's reluctance. So just ask the professionals you're talking to and work with them to get around some of the issues. The next question is, how are you working now during COVID times, and are you still taking new clients?
Yeah, working is it's a little bit different right now. We are still taking people on our wait list. We haven't started admitting from our wait list as of yet. We're currently just offering programming to our current club members. Our clients don't need to wear masks if they can't. Right now, some choose to, and some just, it's too difficult for them. Our staff do wear surgical masks and shields or goggles all day while interacting with the club members. We have found it not to be too stressful on anybody, which has been great. We've still been able to offer all the activities that we were offering before. We just have smaller numbers right now with Halton region going into the red zone. We're limited to, with staff and clients, only having 10 people on site. So a little bit different than what we're used to. It's normally, 30 clients and, 10, 11 staff. So it's quite a bit different than what we're used to.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think that's it for questions for now.
All right.
Thank you,
Any
Katie.
other questions, please give me a call. It's not a problem at all.
Thank you. Do you mind stop sharing your screen there?
Yes, I will stop sharing.
Super. Okay, super.
Okay.
Whoops. Okay, so I think at this moment we will take 5, and it's about 1:45. Oh, say come back at 5 to 8, and Vinitha and I, the caregiver educators, will provide you information on the community resources in the Halton region. So we look forward to seeing you in 5 minutes.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Okay. I might be starting a couple minutes early, but hopefully many of you are here. So we're going to talk about dementia resources, and my co-presenter, Vinitha Nair. I apologize, Vinitha, I did not put your name there. My bad. Vinitha Nair, and hopefully we won't have any technological glitches this time around. I was afraid I was going to have to start singing for you that last time there, and you're very lucky I didn't have to start singing. So Vinitha and I want to guide you through some of the things that are available in the Halton region. And yes, because of COVID, things are certainly different. So we will try and explain what's usually there and also what may be different due to COVID. So, so the premise is that every caregiver, which is you need education on what dementia is, and you're here. Thank you, you're getting it. You need respite, you need a break from caregiving. In the same way that when you worked outside the home, you can't do your job 24/7 and still come to work every day and be fresh. All caregivers need a break from caregiving. And the third thing you need is support. So we're going to talk about where these things come from. So first of all, you should have received a link in your email today for the Halton Dementia Guide. You can see it on the screen and it's in my hand. We also have hard copies at the offices. This Halton Dementia Guide is available for free download on our website, Acclaim Health. if you go to Acclaim Health and Dementia Care and Caregiver Education, it's right there in the middle of the page. And I'm going to show you a little bit about it. So in the Halton Dementia Guide, and it was just actually updated in 2020. So the information is as current, sorry, it's pre-COVID in February, but it talks about things like financial and legal considerations, security, how to get help in your home, in the community, overnight relief, what about crisis services? When is it time for long-term care? There's actually 4 pages devoted to that. So I highly recommend that you take a look at that. So going back to the education, here you are at the Dementia Information Series. We do offer this twice a year. And if you have to miss a session, you are welcome to join us again at the next session, which will be spring 2021. It will probably be virtual. And we also have people who take the whole series again in 2 years or 3 years from now, because you may have forgotten it. Your relative may be at a different stage of dementia, and you want different, and you learn new things every time you take it. So please be aware we do offer it twice a year, and do tell your friends. The other thing that we offer is something called mid to late stages, and that's offered once or twice a year. We're planning on offering it in the spring, and that's for to learn about what's going to happen later as the illness progresses. So it talks about how to manage the changes that happen as the disease progresses. How do you handle safety in the home as the person becomes less able to understand their environment? What about decisions for end-of-life care? Kind of some heavy stuff, but really, really vital. When to apply for long-term care and managing the transition to long-term care. So again, that course will be offered in next year. The Alzheimer's Society of Hamilton Halton, or for that matter, the Alzheimer's Society across Canada, they are also tasked with providing education for free, as we do, to Canadians. And our local one, Hamilton and Halton, they provide many online courses also. Here is their website, and you click on their buttons, Education at Home, and it'll tell you what courses they have coming up. They also have activities to do at home, so you may wish to look at that as well. So athome.alts.hn.ca home. If in doubt, Google the Alzheimer's Society nearest you. If you're not in this region, I know some of you are out of this region, the Alzheimer's Society in your region should have very similar classes. So again, all this information is free and available now online, which is wonderful. We've been asked for years to provide virtual education for working caregivers, and actually we're finally doing it. So I'm going to have Vinitha take over this aspect of the presentation on the community supports. Vinitha, if you can unmute yourself and show up, I'll disappear.
Okay, thank you, Sandi.
Just click on the camera.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Thank you. And I'll be in the background while you're talking. Thank you.
Okay, please bear with me if there are any technical glitches. This is my first time hosting on Zoom, so I'll try my best not to get into trouble. We'll talk about community supports. Our earlier speaker, Katie, had mentioned a few supports that are available through the LIN, one of them being the day program. And as you're aware, as the illness progresses, we will need supports both in the home and out of the home. So I'll go over a few of those supports that are available and how you can access them. All of this information is in the Halton Dementia Guide, so feel free to review it or ask questions if you have any. So the Local Health Integration Network is your starting point to access any of the supports in the home as well as the community. So you'll start out with contacting them for an assessment and then indicate the needs that you are specifically looking for. For example, do you want respite care or in-home support with a personal support worker. And I'll just explain what those are. So the first one on that list is day programs. Katie explained how you would apply for admission into the day program. There's also an option to get on a wait list for a mobile day program. So this is mainly for caregivers who have, people with dementia who have actually been placed on a waiting list, but have not yet been admitted into a day program. So I understand that the wait list is fairly long at this time because of the COVID situation. And what it involves is the program activities are brought to the home because the client is not yet in a day program. The recharge and respite care that's available through the LIN is an in-home service. So you would actually apply again through your LIN care coordinator for support in the home. That can range from a few hours in a day, typically 1 or 2 hours. They would assign or designate a LIN person to come to the house to provide respite care. That way the caregiver can take a break, and it helps. Many of the caregivers who have accessed respite care have found it very beneficial. With respite, there's also the option to apply for respite care through the central registry. So when you look at your Halton Dementia Guide, you will see a website there that says Respite Referrals at Central Registry. The LIN has the option of providing respite care to you directly through the LIN's different providers, care providers, or through the central registry. Okay. Personal support worker services. So what I want to say here is also that when you're talking about respite care, this is for a person in the home. Caregivers can access respite care. It does not involve toileting or showering services. It's to help with light housekeeping or help with meals, and pretty much give the caregiver a break. How the PSW or the personal support worker services will differ from the respite care services is that the PSW is trained to provide bathing and toileting care. So not all caregivers require that support unless the family member is unable to take care of their own hygiene. So sometimes that happens later on with the progression of the disease. Private pay in-home respite. So the other difference is all of the respite care services that are provided through the LIN are accessible to caregivers and family members at no cost. The private pay in-home respite is available through private care agencies. Acclaim Health also offers different private care packages. You also have the option of going to long-term care homes, private retirement homes. They offer respite. The point to note there is that when you go into private homes, like retirement homes, Sunrise or Amica or any of the retirement homes, they usually provide in-home respite, overnight respite for a month. It's a package, okay? So I skipped. I went into overnight respite there for a second. Options for overnight respite would also include Norris House, where your family member can stay for a few days, pretty much 7 to 10 days, or depending on where you live, because some of the services like ESS or VON Hamilton, they require you to be a resident of the area to be eligible for overnight respite. Okay. Private pay, I'm switching back because I jumped the line and went into overnight respite. Bear with me. private pay in-home respite also gives you the flexibility to pick certain hours and a little more of freedom with the respite care services that you can choose. For example, when the LIN provides respite care, there are certain fixed hours when their staff are available. So if you want a 9 to 10 a.m., you may not necessarily get that. I think things have changed now with the COVID situation. So just a little more flexibility if you choose to go with private in-home respite. Mind you, I'm aware it is a little expensive, but Michael will talk next week about how you can claim some of those expenses in your taxes as well. What else? Was there anything else, Sandi? I think that's about it with the respite care and the community supports and in-home supports. Back to you, Sandi.
Thank you, Vinitha. I did a little bloop there. Sorry, I was talking without hitting unmute. So no, that's great. Somebody had asked if there is an option to do, if she had to go away for one night, is there an option for respite?
Oh, yes.
And yeah, do you want to, can you answer?
Yeah,
would you like to answer that? Yeah.
So the option would be to set up or arrange for overnight respite in advance. Nora's House, which is run by the Alzheimer's Society of Peel, is one of those options. Now, mind you, any place where you want to access overnight respite, the process is the same. They will have you come in to schedule an assessment and understand your family members' needs before they actually schedule the stay. For example, Nora's House will, and I think BON does that too. They will have you come in for a trial stay. So the trial stay is typically 2 nights and 2 days, so that they can, monitor behaviors and figure out whether this family member is somebody that they can actually provide care. You must have an emergency backup as a contact. Most places where you can arrange for overnight respite have a time limit. I know that ESS for in Etobicoke, they have up to 40 nights, which is really good. Not too many places will allow you to book an overnight respite for that long. Typically, it's 7 to 10 days.
Okay. No, that's great. Yeah. And the other thing is that it's not something you could do spontaneously. Overnight respite needs to be booked usually far in advance, as far in advance as you know. And the other good thing is that Acclaim Health, Katie alluded to it, when we open our new Dementia Care Center on Spears Road in Oakville between Third Line and Bronte, we will have 8 overnight respite beds. 8. There are currently no overnight respite beds for secure beds for dementia between Hamilton and Mississauga. So there's nothing in Oakville or Burlington. So that will be fall of 2021. We're not taking bookings yet because they're still building it. But so if you do need to go away for a night or two, you've got a wedding, something out of town, you do need to plan far in advance. That's the one thing I'd like you to think about. Let me just check the questions here. Someone asked if we can sign up now for mid to late stages.
Yes.
Vinitha, would you like to explain how you sign up?
Sure. So I need some more time. I just got back. We have scheduled a mid to late discussion series that was sometime in summer, but the situation's completely changed. So that's on hold for now. But I am planning to reschedule one in February of 2021. Just give me some time to book some dates and speakers, and we will post the dates for you on our website. You will also know when registration is open. So I know who's asking me the question, but I will be in touch with you to let you know when we are ready. Okay. Yeah, just need a little bit more time. I have another question here on, could you expand on the
Mhm.
mobile day program?
Mhm.
Is that something that Acclaim offers, or is it another program in the community? So it's a program that SLEC is offering with, remind me who the other person is, Sandi?
VON.
Who the
It's the
VON.
VON and Seniors
Okay.
Life Enhancement Center. Yeah.
Right, the Seniors Life Enhancement Center, SLEC. So the two of them had started out with a pilot mobile day program last year, and it was a very short wait list. You know, by the time you had a referral, you could access the program within a week. But I understand that things have changed over the past few months, so the wait list has gotten a little longer. And right now, it's going to be a little more of a wait to get to it. Acclaim Health does not offer the mobile day program. We certainly have referred. I've definitely made referrals to caregivers and to access the program.
And there is a charge. It's not free. None of the day programs are free,
Right.
unfortunately. But when you think about the cost, the day programs average between $20 to $25 for 6 to 8 hours of care, including lunch. When you think that private care averages around $35 an hour for $24 for a day, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
The other question, I can answer this one. How do you approach the idea of someone coming to the house for respite care with the person having dementia if you think they will resist? Well, my mother resisted. Said, if my mother knew I told all these stories about her, she'd be not happy. But the answer is therapeutic fibbing. I stressed the importance last week in my communication talk about therapeutic fibbing. And so I had two options when I was trying to set my mom up with someone in her house. She actually lived on her own, so we wanted someone to spend time with her. So I either could have said to her, Mom, you know you have dementia, you're not very safe on your own, so someone's going to come watch you for 3 hours a day. How do you think she would have reacted to that? Not too well. The other option was I said, you know, Mom, there's a seniors program and they've got house cleaning for $10 an hour and you would love it. You would love it. She's like, I don't need cleaning. I said, for $10, you can't go wrong. So she said, okay, I'll try it once. So the lady came, specially selected by myself in this private care agency. And my mom loved her. Mary was her name. So Mary started coming 3 hours once a week. And after a year, Mary was there 5 days a week for 3 hours a day. And they listened to music and they went for walks and they did all these great things. And after a few months, my mom looks at me and goes, I really like her, she says, but she does a lousy job of house cleaning. And of course, she wasn't there to clean the house. We just kind of fibbed to my mother. So I would come down on the weekends and clean. But I've heard other people say, another daughter said to her mom, Mom, my friend has just moved to town and she doesn't know anybody. I wonder if you could take her to coffee once a week so she can get to know people here. So this companion would arrive at the house and the two of them would go to Tim Hortons twice a week. And the woman, you know, thought she was helping her daughter. So there are gentle ways of introducing a new person into the household. And so again, work with the agency, the professionals, whoever you're engaging to come into the home. If it's a day program, work with people like Katie, Vinitha and myself are also available for one-to-one caregiver consult on the phone. We do this kind of thing all the time. Vinitha, here's the next question. Do you know of any private health insurance that covers the cost of day programs or respite costs?
I'm not aware of any, honestly. I don't know the answer to that question.
No. I think there's, yeah, I've not heard of any. How do you handle emergency respite care, i.e. a family emergency?
Emergency respite care. I don't know if it depends on what's available, you know, at that last minute when you need something desperately. Retirement homes, private homes. I know that Alexander Place, Christie Oaks, Oak Run, I forget the name of the place now. There's a few of them that might have open slots, and it's your best bet is to call and ask. Honestly, I don't have an answer, or private.
Yeah, and you know, there isn't an answer, and I used to get that question all the time. So I'd say to families, you need to plan.
Yeah.
You need to plan what's going to happen when mom is dad's caregiver and mom ends up in hospital. You as family members need to get together and decide who's going to go for the first 24 hours. And I've spoken to people about this, and 99% of the time, the family will always be the first ones there for 24 to 48 hours. There are private care agencies that you could hire to come in and do 24/7 care. But that, I'll give you an example. I had a gentleman was a sole caregiver for his wife. He had a heart attack, and his 2 daughters had to fly into Oakville. They didn't live here. They spent 5 days while dad was in hospital, and the cardiologist said to the daughters and the father who was looking after mom, they said, "We are not sending your wife home for you to look after. We are only sending you home when she is out of the home, because she is he didn't say she's the cause of your heart attack, but she's causing too much stress." So the daughters, in the 5 days they were there away from their homes and their jobs, had to find emergency respite care for their mom. And that's what happens when you don't plan. So I strongly encourage you, sit down, have discussions. Who's available? Is it a niece? Do you have a niece who's at school who could hang out at the house, for a few days? People are under the mistaken impression sometimes that you can put mom in the ambulance with dad and the hospital will take them. Well, that didn't happen before COVID, and it certainly won't with COVID now. So it's unfortunately it's on the family.
If I can just add, Sandi,
Yes.
this is something we'll talk about in the last week. I do something called a circle of care. That's actually a take-home activity for the caregivers who come to the session.
Week 8,
yeah,
right?
week 8.
Yes. Okay.
I suggest you have the circle of care drafted so that you know who's the emergency contact. If there is something that just happened, I need to take my kid to the hospital. Can you watch dad for an hour? Who would that neighbor be? Who would that family member be? Versus, I'm going out of town because someone's in the hospital or I need to be there. Who would be that long-term, substitute? So you need to have a plan, like Sandi suggested. And involve, a lot of family members and friends with phone numbers, emails, very specific information on where the medication is kept, if there's a special dietary requirement, all of that information, very handy, ready to go.
Thank you.
It helps in emergency situations.
Yeah, very good. What is the typical price range for respite care, both day and overnight?
I'm going to say it's anywhere from 30 and upwards per hour.
So, per hour?
Mm-hmm.
So respite care, private care would be 30,
care.
35, yep. Overnight respite care, Nora's House, which is run by the Alzheimer's Society of Peel in Mississauga, overnight care, $100 a night.
$100 a day, yeah.
The Victoria Order of Nurses in Hamilton, which covers Burlington clients, is $40 a night.
Yeah. Actually, Sandi, they don't have a requirement with based on area of residence.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it says in the Dementia Guide. I hope it's updated, but that might need an update if it's not. I've actually had caregivers from Oakville have overnight, set up overnight care respite in the VON.
Great. So the range for overnight's probably 40 to 100. Yeah. Thank you. So I'm just answering that question. I was looking into respite care, but Nora's House would not take anyone with complications like heart medications, diabetes monitoring. Would retirement homes be able to care in that case any better?
Yeah, if you pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a fee for everything, any extra care. So
I say that retirement homes are like the American medical system, that you have to pay for every Band-Aid you use. So if your relative needs diabetes monitoring, if they need medication monitoring, if they need showering, you have to pay for every service they need in the retirement home. Long-term care used to offer respite care of up to 30 days. You could actually have them go into long-term care, but that is not happening right now with
Not an
COVID.
option right now, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And retirement homes will charge you $3,000 to anywhere from $3,000 upwards. The only difference there is you might want your family member to stay for up to a week or maybe 10 days. You still have to pay for a month. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, yes. Yes. All of them follow the standard
Yeah.
process. Yeah.
Thank you. We have issues getting my mom out of bed in the mornings, like getting her dressed and out of the house for program. What do you suggest in that case to motivate her? Vinitha?
We tried different things. I've had caregivers tell their family members that we're going out to church, therapeutic fibbing. Don't feel bad about it. You'll get used to it after some time. If it makes you feel any better, it's with good intentions. You want them to get dressed and go to the program, but if you tell them that they're going to the program, they're not going to get out of bed. So we're going to have a cup of coffee, or we're going to meet a friend, something that they really look forward to. And once you get them out, you just don't explain too much. You drive up to the program.
The less words, the better.
Yeah.
The fewer words, the better.
It does.
Oh.
It works like magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Acclaim Health has had a series of seminars, understanding the home care system, once a month for the past year. It's fabulous. It's 2 hours. The next one coming up is November 25th, 2 to 4. And it explains, there's a chart, and they explain who pays for what and who does what when and what can Acclaim do. So this is on our website, acclaimhealth.ca, understanding the home care system. They have spots available for November 25th, I believe. So that's an option to get more information on what the local health integrated network will cover versus what we pay. The services from the local health integrated network are no charge.
Mm-hmm.
The government of Ontario is providing it. Most other services will have a charge.
Yeah. The only downside is that you might have to wait for a while. You might not actually access it when you need it because of the wait list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might not suit your schedule. So that's just to be mindful of it. So I usually suggest to caregivers that, oh, I'm fine right now. I don't need the respite care. I can wait for a few months. I would apply for it right now, because by the time you get that respite care, it will be a few months.
Thank you for that point. Absolutely. I say get on any wait list you can.
Yeah.
If you think your relative's going to go to day program next year, put them on a wait list, because guess what? They won't get in until 2021.
Absolutely.
Put them on any wait list you can find. Just do it.
Yeah.
So caregiver supports, that's the last thing we're going to talk about. And every caregiver needs a caregiver. So hopefully all of you have your own caregiver. But there's also professionals like Vinitha and myself. There's support groups all over the region. Vinitha and I are running some online support groups right now. The Alzheimer's Society runs support groups, and our support groups tend to be family support groups or spousal support groups, or where you live. If you're in Burlington, Oakville, Georgetown, the Alzheimer's Society tends to have very specific support groups. This is a support group for persons who have relatives with frontotemporal dementia or Lewy body dementia, or they have an adult children support group. So I do encourage you to look on our website under Dementia Care or on the Alzheimer's Society for support groups. Almost all of them are virtual right now. If you're not, obviously most of you are comfortable with Zoom now, but you can also call in. One-to-one support is available from Vinitha and myself. Our numbers will be on the last slide. The Ontario Caregiver Organization is new about a year or two ago. They have a phone number you can actually call looking for resources. And I'm sorry, I didn't put the website up, but if you Google Ontario Caregiver Organization, you'll come up with it. They do have a few online programs. And the very last one here is wellness programs. So I am running the wellness programs for caregivers at Acclaim Health. One of the programs is called Powerful Tools for Caregivers. It's a 6-week skills building course where you can learn skills to help you in communicating and looking after your relative with dementia. The next one will be starting January 7th, and it's evenings from 6 o'clock to 7:30, a nice quick evening course for working caregivers, and it's called Powerful Tools for Caregivers. Look for it on our website, or you'll receive an email about it. I'll also be running wellness days and social events for caregivers, recognizing that caregivers, given the stress you're under, are in need of wellness events. Anything else under caregiver supports, Vinitha?
Oh, I was going to add with your to your wellness programs. We've done fun things in the past, like goat yoga and the horse ranch. So definitely take advantage of the wellness programs when Sandi posts those. They fill up really fast.
Yes.
I can't think of anything else for support. My recommendation to caregivers is access any support group you can, whether it's offered by the Alzheimer's Society or Acclaim or any agency that provides the support. It's really helpful because what you get from each group is very different.
Yeah, thank you. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, there's our contact information. You can contact us Monday to Friday. I changed the original slide, said you can contact us anytime, and I thought, yeah, I won't be answering my phone on Saturday, just so you know. You can contact us Monday to Friday for support and information.
Yeah.
Vinitha is primarily Oakville. I'm primarily Burlington coverage, but we cover for each other. Vinitha, something else?
Yes, there is an option for you to, so if you know a friend, now that all of you have connected with us, you know where you can reach us and you have our contact information. But if you have friends and they need us to connect with them, there is a form that's available on Acclaim Health's website where you can actually do an online request for caregiver support. And Sandi or I will get back to you within a couple of days.
Yeah, if you fill that out. Thank you. Very good.
Yeah.
Great. And so there's our contact information. And the last thing for a resource for caregivers, I just learned this week that Jan Arden, if some of you may remember week 2, the interview with Jan Arden, whose mother had dementia, she has created with a number of dementia specialists a series called Growing Together with Jan Arden. And it's a series of uplifting animated short stories that offer guidance for new caregivers. And in my, I'm going to now share the screen. I'm going to try a new share here. Here we go. You should see my screen. You can see everything on my screen. Sorry, I'm not erasing it. But if you see Growing Together with Jan Arden, and what she has is a series of a whole number of episodes, respite care, learn how to find moments of rest and rejuvenation with and away from your loved ones, the challenges of caring for a spouse, introducing home care. What else does she have? Series trailer, letting go. Oh, the final chapter of the caregiving journey. So it's kind of neat. So Growing Together with Jan Arden. I just Googled Jan Arden caregivers and this came up if anybody's interested. Some really nicely done videos. So, okay. Okay, so are there any last questions this evening? Any last questions? No. Well, when I, oh.
Oh, there's one.
I'm sorry, I disappeared. When I sign off tonight, or when we close down tonight, you will see a survey. It would be great if you could answer the survey. We are this division of Acclaim Health is a nonprofit. We depend on funders, and they like us to answer certain questions. So I very much appreciate you filling out all the polls at the end of each session and you will also receive a poll to fill out at the end of this session. So we appreciate it very much. Oh, we do have some more. We're popular. We have some more questions. Okay, would love to sign up for the wellness program, but can't see it on the website. Can you help send a link? The wellness programs, they're all individual and they will be posted online or in emails. If you, on the caregiver education page, there should be a place to put your email on our list to be advised of upcoming things.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says, thank you for a great session. And someone else said, we didn't see the video page you were trying to share. Yes, because I realized I didn't share it correctly. That's my, let me try again. Sorry about that. Let me see it here. Okay, here. I am now going to, whoops. No. Hang on. Share. Okay, let's try it again. Oh no, where did Jan go? Oh shoot. I'm sorry, I can't find it. I don't want to hold you.
I sometimes posted the link on Eventbrite, Sandi, if that helps after the session.
Yeah, okay, well thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, yes. We will post the link. Any other questions? Nope. Thank you very much.
Thank you.